Hello, this is Callum Stack, and this is a how-to video for the software Adobe Premiere Pro. Now this video is mostly for those unexperienced editors out there who just never used the software before, who don't know how to use like the cropping effect or how to place videos onto timelines and importing and exporting your content. And this is just a simple how-to video for those people who don't know how to do it. Just a little notice, this video will be using the Premiere Pro 2018 version. This is an updated version, so be sure to update the software as well, because there might be some little small differences here and there compared to that one. So as you can see, we have the start screen. This is all my work that I currently do. But I'm going to be using my music video, Paint It Black, as sort of a basis for this. But before we open a project of mine, let's just go to new project, just to sort of beginner. So as you can see, untitle it. We'll call this music video, just something simple. As you can see, location, we can put it wherever we want to. I'm going to put it on my hard drive, and we press OK. So as you can see, we're on the main screen here. Now there's a lot to unpack here, but obviously the first thing you want to do is to get, the footage you want onto the editing software. So what we do is, as you can see at the top left corner here, we go to File, and we go to Import here. Obviously here, we can search around the iMac, either on the desktop or, your hard drive, wherever you have the footage for your video. So we'll just highlight a few of them. So as you can see, I'll just highlight these clips here, and obviously we press import, and it will import the files here onto the Premiere Pro. So as you can see, these are just numerous takes of a certain shot, as you can see here. So as you can see, we have the video on the left source. Now, there's bits here which sort of help to edit the video, the clip. Obviously we can play it, can step back one frame, go in, or to go out. Now, for the bit that you want to use for your music video, let's say about here. Here, yeah. Let's say we press this button here, mark in, which sort of starts the video. And we just forward to the part where we want to stop. As you can see, it gets a bit blurry, but I'll use a better example as we go on. So as you press here, mark out, we drag the clip onto the timeline sequence. Now as you can see, we have our video and our audio perfectly here. We can also stretch this here to sort of show, the length of the video, or to sort of view more of the content of the clip. So as you can see, we have both a video and audio, and on the right side we are on the color section. This is the bit where we can sort of change the quality of the video, how it looks, and the coloring, and basically all that. So as you can see over here, we're on the creative part. If we go to look, we can select a certain look for our video. So I'm going to go for the SL Clean Kodiak B, because that's sort of the look I went for. As you can see, the black parts sort of definitely stick out. Maybe like a sore thumb, but so yeah, as you can see, got it here, and we can change the white balance as well. As we can go to basic correction, we can sort of change the temperature of the scene. Obviously that looks way too blue, that's not going to work, so we're going to go for a more darker shade. So I'm going to go for more shadows and blacks. Obviously we can change the coloring how we want to. You can see the black definitely stands out. So, yeah. Now, for my video, what I did was I did a crop effect. So basically, I wanted to make mine look very cinematic. So, as you can see, this is sort of a simple setup for software, but I'm going to be now looking at my actual project, at my music video, to sort of show you and get you a better understanding of how I did mine. So, yeah, it obviously takes a lot of time to do this, but it's basically sort of going through and breaking down what I did on my video. Again, also, depending on the amount of clips you have, it will obviously take a long while to load the video. And once you set up here, as you can see on the screen, it has this screen here. Now, usually that's not a bad thing, it's mostly just sort of loading up the clips. Be sure to have all the footage you have on the Mac, otherwise it will probably get lost. So, what I did, so let's take this first clip here. I'm going to lower the volume for this. Just a bit, yeah. So, what I did was, as you can see here, this is our footage of the clip. And for this first shot, what I did here, you can click on the clip here. So as you can see, if we compare it to how I did mine, it's vastly different. Now, what I did was I took the clip, as you can see before, I dragged it in, and obviously I changed, the color of this certain video. On creative, as you can see, I sharpened, and also the vibrance and the saturation, SL Kodiak B. As you can see, it's got this widescreen format. And how I did this was, what you do is, as you can see here on the left side, you can go to Effect Controls. And over here, these are all the video effects and also the audio effects for your content. Also, as you can see, the audio isn't on there, because there is a way, if you don't want the audio to be on a certain video, then you can take it out. So let's just drag this onto here. As you can see, they're playing both video and audio. So if you just want to get rid of the audio, what you do is here, you press this lock button here, which sort of keeps that safe, and it'll just highlight the audio, and you simply just delete it like that. Just simple like that. And as you can see, the video is still there, just here, no audio. So in order to make this sort of fit in how I did the video, actually I'll just mute the track just so it works better. As you can see, I made sure that I used all the best footage for this piece, as it would work very well, and I used a lot of effects. So as you can see, for this, we'll just make it fit in with the rest of it. As I said, SL Kodiak B. Change the vibrance a bit, sharpen it a little. Basic correction. As you can see here, we can change the whites, blacks of certain things, as you can see there. Now, again, as I said, for the effects, if we click here, we only have video effects because we obviously got rid of the audio. And for this, like I said, I wanted widescreen, so we need the crop item. So this button here, this little arrow, which you can see multiple parts of it, will go to effects, and there's different effects here. But you can also just type in the effect. So like I said, crop, as you can see, it's there. You drag it onto the top bit here, and yeah. So there's obviously bits here like left, top, right, bottom. and I decided to crop the footage that I had to 10%. Simple. As you can see, 10%. Bottom, again, just 10%, just to make it look, coherent with the other bits of the video. You can also just type it on here as well, if you don't feel like dragging it. As you can see, there we go. Now, crop was obviously not the only effect I used for this video. There are many, many effects that you can use for this. So as you can see in this similar bit that I did here, I used a transition effect. Sort of transition or fade away to a similar shot. Now how I did this was, if we stretch out the bar again, as you can see, I put a cross effect. Now, to do this, it's very, very simple. Basically, we click on the clip we want, go to Effects. I did video transitions. If it doesn't work on go to Effects, here. As you can see, it just helps more if we go into the effects part of it. And let's, again, like I said, we can find it on top of here. Let's get rid of that. Video transitions, there's many. We can use iris, we can use slide, wipe, and zoom. So for this, and video effects, sorry. So for the transition, I went to here. Sorry, not transition, transitions. I went to the dissolve effect, cross dissolve right here. And what you do is you basically drag it onto that. I'm not going to do it again because I already have it. But if we click on the effect itself, as you can see, we can lengthen the amount of time it has. As you can see, there's a duration for it here. And we can sort of make it longer as well there. As you can see, it just takes a while there. Now, along with this, I also put on some sound effects on my own. So if you can hear properly, that's a police siren. And I just simply, again, imported it onto the video. There's a ton of other effects that you can put on here just to make it more cinematic. I kind of went small on the effects because I didn't want to go too much. Let's just use the simple effects here. So for this final shot, again, police siren, and obviously dip to black. Again, just sort of go into the effects section. As you can see there, we already have it. Dip to black, and just drag it onto the timeline on that video. Now, if you hear properly, the siren the audio goes down. Now, how I did this was first of all, you have to touch on the audio itself, and you go on to Effect Controls. Now, as you can see here, we can change the volume. So what I did was, I put it at a certain level, so I put it at 2.4, and then I moved the marker here to make it go down to -0. Just 0 because obviously we want it to be quiet. And this will create a triangle, as you can see. Sorry, not a triangle, but a little shape here. And of course, depending on how long it is, it will go down. So let's say I want to go down to -5. Now if we hear the sound effect, see it goes down because we put that bit there. Now this can work for the effects as well. You can also do that on the effects, as you can see here. As we go on. Now as you can see, I've finished this music video. And there's other bits you can look around for the thing. Obviously audio, you want to be careful on how to trim the audio you have to make it fit with the song. It's the ensemble, showing all the clips together. And yeah. Now in the top left corner, let's say you want to, export the video. How do you do that? Well, simply, all you have to do is you go to File, Export, Media. Once we get onto the page, it takes a while to load, that's why. But basically, when we get to File, Export, Media, you have multiple options on how to upload the footage. So we can just get rid of that one there. And it should work again. Media, export it. So as you can see, we have export settings. Now, sometimes, as you can see, it's rendering the video. So there are, on some occasions, there will be some points where maybe like certain parts of the video, like maybe some sounds might not be fully processed. So you have to be careful. So obviously, we can press Match Sequence Settings, the video, the effects, and what we do is we sort of check everything is okay. Oh, actually, first off, sorry, we change the format, what exactly we want it as. Let's say we upload this as QuickTime. This is simple. Match Sequence Settings. That's only if you want to queue it, though. Again, if you want to queue it like that. Or you can just simply export the audio files. Again, as you can see, it takes quite a while, depending on how much footage you have. So I'm just going to cancel it, because obviously I've already done mine. But yeah. So, yeah. Oh, also, if you want to cut up bits and clips or music of the video, as you can see here, there's some bits of my audio. Let's play a bit of it actually. I've cut it up a bit, and by doing that, what I've done, how I've done it, is we go onto the razor tool, and we can cut out a certain part of the video. As you can see here, I cut out that bit, click on that bit, and it sort of cuts and makes its own separate file bit. And you sort of have to be careful with how to do this. You can kind of notice it, but you have to be careful of when exactly to cut off a certain bit. And one final thing I want to show actually is a title sequence. So if you want to add a bit of graphics onto here, let's say on the end of the video I'll put like paint it black. So let's go to sorry, hold on. Sorry about this. This sometimes, especially like on Macs that have a lot of stuff on there, it will just take a long while. But yeah, what I was going to say was, along with the crop tool, if you want to add graphics and titles to your video, what you would have to do was you would have to go on to graphics, as we'll see in a minute. Oh yeah, they also do this sometimes, but we're just not going to do it. Paint it black. Music video. Yeah, so last thing, before we go, let's go into effects. Or if you just wanted to do it a more simple way, we just go to a black screen here, to graphics. So sometimes this thing just doesn't work properly. But what I was going to say was there was a bit on the title sequence. So if you want to put a title sequence in the video, actually, you know what would be a good way to show this off was a showreel I did. This was a showreel just collecting of all the footage from not just my music video, but from other videos, like my short films, some fashion promos, some intro videos, all that good stuff. Again, sometimes depending on the Mac you're using, sometimes some fonts won't be available. So as you can see, at the end here, I just put my name, Callum Stack. Now, as you can see, we're in the graphics part. Sorry, because the other one was kind of breaking down. But if we want some titles, we go to the text here, and we click on the text we want to do. So you can see, just type in Callum Stack, Stack, and be careful because we wouldn't want to go back to selection tool. We can move it around. Now, as you can see at the right side, we can align and transform the title. So this one here, the scale, we can obviously lower the scale to 100, make it as small or as big as you want. Also maneuver it like this way or that way, whichever one you want, as well as changing the text. By doing that, you obviously got to highlight the text, change it like that. I'm going to stick with my effects. And in terms of actually using it for the video, I did a fade effect to make it work good. So how I did this was you touch the title that you have, go to Effect Controls. As you can see, just put in opacity here. And we have a little triangle here where we start at 0. And what you do is you drag the time frame here, drag the speed up to 100, which is where you can obviously see the title, and then I just dragged it down again to sort of make it fade away. Yeah. So, like I said, once you've exported that video, it should be ready to view on whatever platform you'd like. So that's just a simple way of how to use Premiere Pro. I hope this was useful, and yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!